Is this a Halloween book review in July? Yes, this happens literally every year. Where have you been? You're gonna have to get used to it because I am ready for Halloween. To me, July 5th is the start of the Halloween season. Once the 4th of July is over, summer is done. There's no point. So Halloween, here I come. The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler was originally published by Pocket Books in 1992, and since then it has been out of print until now, because Capricorn Literary has come to the rescue yet again. They got the rights to all of D.A. Fowler's books, which have all been out of print, and now we have a brand new paperback edition of The Devil's End, as well as a brand new audiobook version. The audiobook is narrated by Michael Reeves, who also narrated the audiobook for The Black Cat by John Russo, which I reviewed last year on this channel. I'll post the link up here in the card symbol somewhere. He has this very deep, gruff voice, which is very, very fitting for vintage horror, I think. And I will go ahead and say that his voice was perfect for the narration of The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler, which is how I read the book. Capricorn Literary was very kind, and they reached out to me and offered to send me a digital download of the audiobook. So I listened to it, had a really great time with Michael Reeves' narration. He just, like I said, has this really gritty kind of voice, and it just lends itself perfectly to that era of horror fiction. The synopsis of The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler reads, "In Sharon Valley, at teen slumber parties and around campfires, the story is told. 70 years ago, on Halloween night, Nathaniel and Marantha Ober made a pact sealed by bloody human sacrifice, a pact with the devil himself. Nancy Snell is the most popular girl in high school. She is beautiful and wealthy, and she has discovered the key to unlimited power, the occult force that was summoned to this sleepy town decades ago. She has already chosen the perfect victim needed to perform the ritual, the new girl in town, Lana Bremmers. Once again, the town of Sharon Valley will be the doorway to legions of darkness, and the devil will have his payment in blood on an even more terrifying Halloween night." Basically, this book was an amped up version of the popular 90s point horror series. I'm sure you've heard of it if you were a teen in the 90s. It had all of the high school drama of those books, but with a little bit of extra venom. It is far darker and gorier and meaner and more depraved, especially toward the end of the book. As the book slowly crawls toward Halloween night, the evil of the town just begins to poison the minds of the townspeople, and things get really crazy. At the end of the book, my jaw was literally hanging open, but then I couldn't stop smiling for the rest of the day. It is just delightful in its mayhem. It is for this reason, though, that I can't really recommend the book to everybody. I would say that if you have a weak stomach or you are easily offended, you might want to skip this one. There are also some racial jokes that are made, and there are some slurs toward a character who has mental disabilities, so it's a product of its time. It's not really aged well in those particular ways. My main gripe with The Devil's End is really that there are just so many characters, and they began to get a little bit tangled up in my brain. It was hard to discern one character from another at some points. But out of all of those characters, there are some standouts that I really enjoyed reading about. For instance, I really liked Lana Bremmers as a character. I thought she was really well written, and I did enjoy reading about her. I also really like reading the chapters from Nancy Snell's perspective, as awful as she might be. She's just fun to read about. She's like a character from Mean Girls, only worse. Overall, The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler is a must-read for anybody who loves vintage horror. And I would have to also give the Library Macabre a seal of approval to the audiobook. I thought it was really well produced. So overall, great job, Capricorn Literary. Thank you so much for bringing this book back into print. And if you've been wanting to read this book, it's now your chance, because you can easily get a copy without having to shell out a whole bunch of money for the original paperback. Thank you all so much for watching this video. I will leave links down below in the graveyard where you can order a copy of The Devil's End by D.A. Fowler. Till next time, later creeps.